Hello friends, we'll once again see this paging. We have seen one part of paging where what exactly is paging, what is the hardware for paging, and then we have end up our session with paging with TLB. So to have a brush up of paging with TLB, that we'll see first, and then later on we'll see some more advancement of paging. I am Mahesh Sangvi, working as Professor and Head, Department of Computer Engineering, SNJB's Letsau KB Jain College of Engineering, Chandwad. I hope you will definitely like this video and subscribe my YouTube channel. So here this is what the hardware arrangement of TLB, paging with TLB. TLB stands for Translation Look Aside Buffer. If you observe here, this was actually the CPU who is actually creating logical address. This is what the RAM, that is main memory, where the physical address will be mapped, and this mapping of physical address to logical address can be either done by using page table in case of only paging technique, but some more thing which is added here, that is TLB, translation look aside buffer. The meaning of this is that P will be page number. That page number will be first search on into this TLB. If it is available at TLB, then concern frame entry will be given to the this particular address, and this we can say that this is ultimately conversion from logical address to physical address. That's the beauty of this particular scheme. So this we have seen into what our previous session. Now looking towards the associative memory. Associative memory means we need to focus here on the part that it has basically two fields. One is page number, another one is what, frame number. As we all are aware that page table is what, combination of these two entries, that is page number and frame number. So ultimately page number is mapped on what, frame number. That is ultimately P as well as what, D, that we have seen in case of address translation, and that D is as it is converted into D, but P is converted into what, F. So that is what the main importance here. So what is associated here? P is associated with what, F. Now when we are talking about effective address time, we need to focus on this terminology, associative lookup. If you observe here, then the things will be quite clear that here the time which is needed, that we need to focus. It can be less than 10% of memory access time. And when we are talking about hit ratio, suppose that is alpha, then hit ratio, it means that the percentage of time that a page number is found in the associative register, that is ultimately what that particular time means, the page number which is identified into TLB. Okay, and the 80% of the time, if the page is not available at TLB, in that case we have to search it on what, the table, that is ultimately page table. Now we are talking about memory protection. Now this is again very important. Memory protection means it can be done either by using any sort of bit. Okay, and that bit can be, if it is valid, then we can say the page is in use. If it is invalid, it means that the page is not in use. We can also use here PTLR, that is page table length register, to manage this. If you observe this diagram, in this diagram it is quite clear that this is what the page table which is available, and here there are multiple processes or the pages which is coming. If you observe here, the last two bits are what, I, and rest everything is what, set to V. V means valid and I means invalid. So one more field is added here, one more bit is added here. If the bit is set, we can say it is valid. If it is 0, we can say it is what, invalid. And when it is invalid, it means that that page is not in use, so its respective memory will also be what, made free. Okay, so that particular frame number will be made free. That's the beauty of this valid and invalid bit. Now when I'm talking about the shared memory or shared pages, we need to have understanding thoroughly through this particular example. If you observe this example, okay, here in this example it is quite clear that suppose we have 40 users, okay, working on a one particular page. Then what will happen, we need what, text editor, that will be open, and that text editor of particular size will be, let's say, 150 KB. So 50 KB data, that is page size will be 50 KB, and that will be 50 into what, the 40, and then later on we will come to know that the entire space which is needed will be what, 8000 KB. Okay, so when I'm talking about shared code, we need to understand that one copy will be of read only, okay, where reentrant code can be used, and it will be shared amongst all the processes. As we all are aware that when the code is in execution, then naturally no one will actually able to change that particular code. So only one copy of the editor is actually will be in a main memory. So if you observe here, the total space will be 40 into 50 plus 150, so that will become what, 2150 KB. So this way we can able to calculate the shared address mode. If you observe this example will clear you to some things. Please focus here on this particular three table. Here if you observe that certain code, that is editor 1, editor 2, editor 3 are the common, but their data can be what, different. So if you observe here, editor is taking what, the same space, but the data will need what, some different space. So shared code will be what, this editor's code will be what, the shared. So editor will be common for all, only data can be different, because every programmer can write their own code. So that is the reason here different code can be used. Again, this example will tell you by using pointer we can use this particular what, data sharing. So we have already seen this, and multiple times you all have used how pointer can able to use for what, that shared memory can be pointed by using pointer. Now the main concept, that is structure of page table. Now page table can be represented by using hierarchical paging. It can be represented using hash page table, or it may be via inverted page table. In examination, everyone have asked till date, so we have to focus on this particular topic properly. Here the very first technique is what I explored, where you will understand that the memory requirement for any of the page table using straightforward method will be shown to you here. Okay, so 32-bit logical address, let's say that is needed. Okay, so that will be one of the things. So 2 raised to 32 can be there, and then the page size itself is 4 KB. 4 KB means 2 raised to 12. So when you divide 2 raised to 12 32 into 2 raised to 32 upon 2 raised to 12, then you will get the answer 2 raised to 20. So that is ultimately 1 million entries. So when we are talking about 1 million entries, and if the one entry is of 4 byte, then we need what, 4 MB physical address space to store our page table itself, and this much big amount is needed to store page table. So providing contiguous memory for this page table can be the challenging part. So we need to break up this page table into what, uh, multiple pages, and we need to take care that where exactly this data is what actual stored, that we need to focus. So then the page table will be what, simply the technique that can be used here can be two level page table. Now two level page table means what, here you can observe here one page table is here and another page table is here. So what will happen, initial entry of page table will be with this, it will point to this, and it will actually point to what, actual memory addresses. So we need what, two page sets like P1 and P2, and only one offset which will be there, and that P1 and P2 will give us two level paging. So here a logical address, that is 32-bit machine with 4 KB page size, is divided into two things. One will be with what, the 28 bits, and another one will be what, 32 bits. So your 40 bits will be what, divided into 20 bits. 32 bit will be divided into 20 bits and 12 bits. Okay, so here we need to understand that 10 bits will be the page number size. Okay, 12 bits will be the page number size, and the 10 bits will be what, the offset. So the next figure will give you clear cut idea that here P1 will take, here the P1 will take 10, another P2 will take 10, and offset will take what, 12. So overall in 32 bits, the P1 will take care of 10, P2 will take care of what, 10, and D will be what, 12. And this will actually give us what, the great scope of what, storing our page table. This example will clear you an idea how this particular page table and how this particular address can be what divided. So you can see this very well from this example, and it will be quite clear to you how this P1, P2 and D can be represented. Now you can see that how the address translation can be possible. So we have these three things. Okay, we have these three things. Which three things? We have P1, we have P2, we have D. So P1 will be the first level address, so we will map it first. Then from that we'll take some another address of P2, and in P2 we'll get what frame number. And by using displacement, what we will do, we will exactly read the thing that we actually want. So this way P1, P2 and D can be used for address translation. If we consider 64-bit logical address space, then the things can be taken into what double way, and here you can understand that P1 will be 42, rest all will be as it is, like P2 will be 10 and D will be what 12. So this will actually what help us to generate more entries, so that entries will be 202 raised to 52 entries, which can be generated by using what, just converting the space into what, 32 to 64. Now 64-bit, when we are talking about, the outer page will be of 2 raised to 42 entries, okay, means, or 2 raised to 44 entries. So you can understand here, this will give an clear cut idea that how we can able to take care of the size of outer page as well as what the inner one. And this will give you an idea regarding what the three level paging, where the 2 is converted into 3. You can understand that there will be second outer page, then this, and then finally offset will be there. So 32-bit will be given to P1, 10 will be given to P2, 3 will be given to what, 10, sorry, P3 it will be given 10, and finally offset will be of what, 12. So you can understand very well that from this you can have more and more things. So this way you can either use 2 level or 3 level, that depends on what the application. But here we can have some other technique, that is hashed page table. In hashed page table we need to use one of the hash function, and based on that hash function we can able to compute the address. So you can see this diagram. In this diagram you will understand that this P is actually given as a logical address, D will go directly, but how P will be searched? P will be given to hash function. In hash function, whatever address which will be generated, it will be searched on what hash table. This hash table is actually working like your page table. It will give us an idea if suppose there are further adjustment which will be there, linear probing is done, then this kind part of will be done, and finally the page frame address will be identified, and that will be supplied here. So here by using hash page table, the logical address is converted into what, the physical address, by using hash function as well as what, hash table. So the next and the last scheme from this particular topic is inverted page table. Inverted page table is again one of the different thing, where it is mainly keeping track of the entries which is not actually identified. So it tracks the frame. So it tracks the frame directly. So what we can do, one entry for each particular frame, okay, and based on that frame the things will happen. You can see this particular diagram. This diagram will give you an idea. CPU will generate logical address. So initially PID, it means that process ID is given here. That process ID will be searched, that P will be also be searched here, and from that the inverted entry will be identified, and that will be given as a frame, and that frame will be what generated for what, the physical number. So this way, with the help of PID and P, here the logical address is converted into what, the physical address. Such a scheme is known as inverted page scheme. So in next lecture we will see the use of segmentation. I hope you must have understood the things. If you have any doubt, you can anytime raise your doubts on YouTube chat window. Thank you.